I'm Jenna Burton, and I'm a medical oncologist at the University of California at Davis. I'm also the director of the Veterinary Center for Clinical Trials here. And I research cancer treatments in pets with the goal of one day improving quality of life and survival for all species affected by cancer. The vaccine study, the VACC study, which is Vaccination Against Canine Cancer Study, is a really exciting project for us to be involved in. This is a study that is being conducted at 3 sites, UC Davis, Colorado State, and the University of Wisconsin. And we are evaluating a cancer preventative vaccine that's been developed by an investigator at Arizona State University. His name is Stephen Johnson. And this study is really kind of the first of its kind to prevent a wide number of cancers that occur in dogs and potentially people as well. So this project, which is funded by the Open Philanthropy Project, is designed to see if we can reduce the incidence of cancer development in healthy dogs. And so we are enrolling dogs that are ages 6 to 10 years old that have never been affected by cancer. So dogs that are really healthy and feel good and still living their best lives. And as part of this study, dogs will receive a series of vaccines, initially given once every 2 weeks for 4 doses, and then they'll get a booster vaccine annually with some blood work visits about every 6 months. And the goal is to see if this is a randomized, placebo-controlled, and blinded study. So of the 800 dogs that are going to be enrolled in this study across all 3 sites, about half of them will receive the active vaccine, and the other half will receive a sham vaccine or a placebo vaccine. And our goal is to see if we have a reduction in the occurrence of cancer in the dogs that get the active vaccine versus the 400 dogs that receive the sham vaccine. It's really the only way that you can test this scientific question appropriately. Sometimes the thought of receiving a placebo vaccine is a downside for people, but I think without having that really important control arm, we don't have a good sense of what the natural cancer occurrence rate would be in this patient population. So to qualify for the study, dogs need to have standard blood work, chest x-rays, and abdominal ultrasound to make sure that they don't have any cancerous processes that might be hiding and haven't manifested yet. And so that's part of the baseline screening, and those costs are actually paid for by the study. And so if all those tests are really unremarkable, the owners are committing to bringing their dog in every 2 weeks for the first 4 vaccines, and then every 6 months for the next 5 years. And additionally, owners need to be able to complete an online survey after each vaccination. And this is really going to help us assess the potential side effects or problems that dogs may experience after these vaccines to make sure that not only that it works, that it decreases the incidence of cancer, but it's safe too. Another element of being included in the study is that it is restricted to breeds that have been shown to be more likely to develop cancer. And that could be cancer across the board, or it could be development of a specific cancer. So I think of, in that case, Scottish Terriers, and they're really overrepresented in developing bladder cancer. Mixed breeds are one of the most common dogs that we see develop cancer, so we absolutely are seeing those, and a full list of the breeds can be found at a website link that I can provide to you. The only criteria that we have for the owner versus the pet is that they keep us informed of health issues that their dog may be encountering, that they're willing to come to those appointments as scheduled. And then the big one is that they have to live within 150 miles of the study site. So unfortunately, this excludes a large number of people that are really excited about this, but hopefully with time and as other studies hopefully develop out of this project, there'll be other opportunities for those enthusiastic pet owners. Yeah, so the study was anticipated to, we're going to follow these dogs for 5 years. If dogs develop cancer while they're on study, the study does have a stipend to help help those owners either do further workup and staging or treatment of that pet's cancer. Once they develop cancer, the dogs are removed from the study, but we will continue to likely follow up with those owners about how their pet is doing after the cancer treatment. But if a dog remains healthy and does not develop cancer, it has the potential of remaining on study for 5 years after it initially starts. This vaccine is targeting new proteins that are expressed on cancer cells, and these are proteins or neoantigens that are not normally seen on regular healthy cells, but with some of the changes in the DNA that happen with cancer development, these new proteins are expressed on these cancer cells. And so this vaccine is allowing the immune system to target and attack these cancer cells at a much earlier stage of development, kind of priming the immune system. Side effects with the vaccine, what we've seen to date and what we anticipate are going to be some of the common side effects that we may experience with vaccination. So some of the vaccinations are intramuscular, so if you've ever had a flu shot, you know that you may have some muscle soreness that may make it hard to raise your arm the next day. Usually it's pretty self-limiting. We may complain about it for 24 hours or so, but normally it goes away uneventfully. So this study takes a long time. It's prospective research, and so one of the things that unfortunately needs to happen for us to know whether this vaccine is working or not is that animals need to develop cancer or not. And so we don't know the timeline at which that will happen. There's a planned interim analysis of the study data about halfway through the study time frame. And if that's encouraging, that will likely move forward other studies. So we unfortunately may have to be patient for a bit of time before we start to get some early results.